Well, hello everyone. I'm Senator Mike Goggin, and welcome today to our press conference here on the Farm to School bill. I couldn't be more happier than to be authoring this bill. It's a bipartisan bill. Representative Lippert and I are carrying it both in the House and the Senate. And, you know, this is a whole win-win situation for our schools, our farmers, and most importantly, our kids. Gives them an opportunity at child care providers, child care centers, and our schools to get fresh farm produce from our local farmers. And that's what it's all about, because at the end of the day, we'd like to encourage our younger kids as they're growing up to build healthy eating habits, and that's what this bill does. And as a father myself, 25 years ago, our daycare lady, every week she would introduce a new vegetable to our children. And I was talking to one of my sons over the weekend, and he said one of the favorite things they did is they would do the Eggman sandwich in that, and they'd take a hard-boiled egg, cut it in half, but then they got to decorate it with different vegetables and that. And he says that was one of the memories he had growing up. And so I couldn't be more happy and proud to be able to carry this bill. And as I said, it's a win-win for everybody in the state, and most importantly, our students here. So with this, I will turn this over to Representative Todd Lippert and let him make a few comments. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Senator Goggin. I'm Representative Todd Lippert. I represent Northfield, Lonsdale, Montgomery, and all the farmland in between. And I'm very pleased to be authoring this bill in the House and carrying it along with Senator Goggin. The purpose of the Farm to School bill is to get more Minnesota-grown, whole, minimally processed, healthy food into school and early care provider meal programs all across the state. And this bill is good for local farmers, it's good for our children, and it's good for local economies too. Direct access to institutions like schools gives farmers an increasingly stable and diversified income. A school can be an anchor customer for a farmer. Opening up this market can be a true game changer, helping a farmer grow their business in remarkable ways. Farmers who are growing local foods for local communities are eager to provide their product to our schools, and schools are looking for this partnership with local farmers as well. We want our children to be eating fresh, nutritious food whenever possible. It only makes sense that our children should be eating this good food at school. We also know that young children are developing their taste preferences, and that eating healthy, tasty fruits and vegetables will develop good habits for a life of healthy eating. These children who are participating in farm-to-school programs are also going to be eating an additional serving of fruits and vegetables every day because they taste good. That's what research is telling us. So in other words, farm-to-school creates healthier children. This farm-to-school bill will also benefit local economies. Every dollar invested in farm-to-school generates $2.16 in local economic impact. The dollars in this bill will be injected right back into our neighborhoods, keeping farmers on the farm, keeping their children in our schools, and circulating dollars through the local community. Getting local foods into institutions like schools will also help grow capacity for local foods, making it easier to build the processing facilities and distribution networks needed to allow this growing economic sector to take the next step forward. This will be good for Minnesota farmers and good for Minnesota communities. The bill will provide a $2 million annual grant program to reimburse schools and early child care providers who are integrating local, whole, minimally processed, Minnesota-grown foods into their meal programs. And schools will be reimbursed based on the number of meals that they serve. This bill is a win for our children, a win for local farmers, a win for local economies, and I'm eager to get it to the governor's desk. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Lippert. And I'm very pleased now to announce Isla MacCallum. She's a second grader from Minneapolis Public School, and she eats the farm to school lunches, so she's a recipient of Farm Fresh Produce. So I'd like to introduce Isla, and thank you so much for coming.
Hello, my name is Isla MacCallum. I'm a second grader at Burroughs School in Minneapolis. I like fruits and vegetables. I like eating good food from farmers. I want all kids in Minneapolis to eat healthy lunches like I have. I support Farm to School.
And she's a great artist too, by the way. Great job, Isla. Thank you so much. Next, I'd like to introduce Ben Doherty. He's from Northfield, Minnesota. He operates the Open Hands Farm and he's a land stewardship member. And so welcome, Ben.
Hi, my name is Ben Doherty. I grow fruits and vegetables near Northfield. We have about 20 acres in production, and over the years, as our farm business has grown from very small, selling to schools and institutions has been a huge part of that growth, getting us now to the point where we're selling about $300,000 worth of food in our community and into the Twin Cities area. When we started, there was not much fruit and vegetable production around us. As our farm has grown and thrived, with the help of institutions and schools especially, and from our direct marketing in our community, as our farm has thrived, other farms are starting to thrive around us, both beginning farmers and multi-generational farmers. So the Farm to School bill provides more and more opportunity for farmers like us and farmers like those around us to thrive in their rural communities. So that can be happening across the state. It's starting to happen. This Farm to School bill is coming at a really good time to inject some money into those relationships that that the sponsors of the bill mentioned, that the schools who want to work with farmers and the farmers who want to work with the schools to make those partnerships really successful for the long term. I know when I was a kid, my family did everything we could, especially as I was getting older, to have more healthy food on the table. It was a struggle. We weren't always able to do it, and our family was just learning how to do it from my parents' non-healthy eating habits. So I know as I was growing up, I come to farming partially because I know that the fruits and vegetables that I ate and eat today have a huge impact on my mental health and helping me live a better life. And when I go to classrooms in school districts that we work with, and I bring my carrot puppet and I tell them, I want you to live a better life, and I think eating better and having these healthy eating habits from our produce and other farm goods from around the state are going to help you do that. That's part of the message that I bring as a farmer in classroom visits, and that's what this Farm to School program can really support. And also, I think it's really important to note that local food production, whether it's fruits, vegetables, meats, any other kind of minimally processed food, can have a huge impact in our local economies, rural economies, small cities around the state. It's not just about the metro. It is starting to happen and can happen all over the state. And it can be a real force. It already is and can continue to grow to be a bigger force in our rural economies. To the point where in our community, our EDA, our city council, our township boards are all taking note and are all having conversations about how to better support local food production. So diversity in the farm landscape, a strong economy, a farm economy that has more diverse types of production is going to be stronger. And we all know as a farm economy is stronger, that ripples out throughout the community and throughout the state. So we appreciate what could be coming in the next 5 to 10 to 15 years with a bill like this pushing and leading the way.
Thank you very much, Ben. I appreciate that. And next we're going to hear from Jami Lee from Crookston, Minnesota, with Tri-Valley Opportunity Council Head Start Program, and the Child Nutrition Services Director from Crookston. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jami Lee. I'm the Child Nutrition Manager for Tri-Valley Opportunity Council. My office is located up in Crookston, Minnesota. Tri-Valley has been partnering with the Institute of Agriculture and Trade Policy now for the past 3 years. And as the Child Nutrition Manager, I have been very passionate and a supporter and advocate for the Farm to School and Farm to Early Care program. I'm pleased to say that we are able to implement Farm to Early Care in our 16 centers throughout the state, which many of our centers are located in rural areas that are considered food deserts. So to find local nutritious food has been a struggle. So access to local nutrition foods has been scarce to find. By partnering with local farmers to supply local foods in our menus and curriculum, we are able to expose children to new fruits, vegetables, and other local produce. which will support the growth and development and brain development that is so vital for these early stages of life. This program allows us to reach children at the time they are setting their taste preferences and eating habits that will carry forward for the rest of their lives. Statistics have shown that early exposure to fresh, healthy foods at early stages of life decreases the likelihood of diet-related diseases and obesity, which is a concerning issue that we find in our children today. So being able to offer these fruits and vegetables and curriculum and exposure at these early stages of life has really been an impact on the ages of 0 to 5 that we are working with. It really opens up their exposure and allows them to have this while they are now going to their kindergarten and incorporating farm to school within their program after their preschool ages.
Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate that. And lastly, we're going to hear from Kate Seybold with the Minneapolis Public Schools Farm to School Coordinator.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kate Seybold, and I'm the Farm to School Coordinator for Minneapolis Public Schools. Since 2013, Minneapolis Public Schools has been partnering with small to mid-sized farms in Minnesota to provide our students with fresh, high-quality, sustainably grown produce and meats. This school year, MPS will buy over 300,000 pounds of fruits, vegetables, and meats from more than 20 farms in Minnesota. Over the last 6 years, our district has seen firsthand the value that farm to school can bring to our students, our farmers, and our local economy. For our partner farms, like Ben and Aaron at Open Hands Farm, working with our farm to school program provides new and expanded income to their businesses. For many of our farmers, our program creates a new market for items they otherwise might struggle to sell. Whether it's 15-pound butternut squashes, cosmetically imperfect potatoes, irregularly sized cucumbers, our district can use it and our students will love it. Additionally, knowing that students are enjoying their produce year after year provides our farmers with meaningful business that they can count on. For our students, our Farm to School program provides the opportunity to try nearly 40 different varieties of fruits and vegetables over the course of a school year. This means everything from watermelon to watermelon radishes, kohlrabi, and rutabaga. And it's not just any produce, it's high quality, delicious produce that our students love. Just last week, I was at an elementary school and I asked a student what their favorite vegetable was. He thought for a moment and replied with carrots, and quickly added that the carrots he has at school are extra sweet. And it's true, Ben's carrots are very, very sweet. Our students can taste the difference when we're serving Minnesota-grown food. Farm to School legislation will help both Minnesota schools and farmers serve our students with fresh, high-quality foods. Investing in Farm to School means investing in our state.
Great. Thank you very much. With that, I'll just open it up to questions from anybody, if anybody has any.
Why now? Why is it taking so long? This seems to be kind of a no-brainer for Minnesota.
It's a great question. But all I can say is I'm happy to carry the bill. I carried it last year, and I'm proud to carry it again this year. And I'm very proud with Representative Lippert. I mean, we've working together. It's not a partisan issue. This is an issue that's for our entire state. And at the end of the day, we need to do what's right for our state, and most importantly, our children and our students. And our farmers are the backbone of our economy. And so we're always looking for solutions to issues that are going to actually be a positive solution to the problem that we're dealing with. And our farmers, like Ben, are going to benefit from it, and our communities all benefit from it. And at the end of the day, when you have students in school that are not sitting there listening to a stomach that's hungry, they're going to be more attentive in the classroom, and they're going to be a much better student, a much better learner, and enjoy school even that much more. And for me, that's what it's all about. So, and I'll let Representative Lippert.
I would simply add that local growers and schools are asking for it right now. This came out of conversations I had with local farmers in the area, connected with other farmers across the state. And there's growing demand for local foods. We're recognizing how important food is increasingly. And so it seems like the right time to make this step, to be making this investment, both in health for our children, but also in the benefits that this can create for local economies. As a legislator who serves a more rural area, I'm very concerned that we find ways to invest in local communities and invest in the local agricultural economy, and this is a great way to do that.
You mentioned that something you worked on last year. Could you tell me anything else about the history of people that have tried this and bills that have been opposed and not gone through, and why that might have been passed?
I couldn't really tell you what's happened in the past. As Representative Lippert said, this is becoming more and more, it's coming more and more to the top of the surface and being more and more talked about and becoming a big issue. I mean, my hometown of Red Wing, we have about 50% of our students are in free or reduced lunches. And fortunately, our community has come together and we provide lunches all year long and food to the kids all year long. So this is something that's needed by our state, by our communities. And we really have to do something, and this is a first step in addressing that. And I think it's a really great first step. The Farm Bureau, Farmers Union, all the farming communities have come together on this. They're all supportive of it. Our schools are supportive of it. And then on top of that, we've got our child care providers, both at-home daycare and centers that are on board with this. And so at the end of the day, again, it's just getting that nutritious meal to our students and our kids and getting them that opportunity to build their taste buds and get wanting to eat healthy food early is a big first step. So
Logistically, our season, the growing season for produce, is not when kids are in school. So are these things frozen? How are they preserved? Does it go year round? Our growing season, our school season don't align.
I'm going to let Ben talk about that.
I can as well. So I operate a migrant school Head Start program. A lot of our kids are migrant and seasonal. So our season starts around June and goes all the way November, December. So a lot of those kids, their families are working on the farms as well. So with our curriculum, it's very nice that we're able to not only bring in the local fresh fruits and vegetables and produce to them, but we're also able to teach them of what their parents are working on the farms, getting those parents to come in and getting those farmers to talk in too. So we actually operate during those times of the year where farms are bringing in food, so we like to talk to the farmers right away when they're getting in their crops and scheduling those times to do focused fruits and vegetables throughout these seasons. So it is kind of a year-round thing. And then also Head Starts and early cares and then daycare centers, things like that, they operate year-round too and in the summer. So that's why it's so vital for daycare and early care to also be on board with this and not just the whole farm to school K-12, but early care as well.
Yeah. And just to add, so in Minneapolis Public Schools, we're able to go the whole school year bringing in farm to school produce. So right now we're still bringing in potatoes, carrots, we're just finishing up our radishes and parsnips. And right around the time that those will end, we'll have some spring kohlrabi and romaine and rhubarb that we're bringing in. And then we operate in the summer for our summer meal program as well. Yes, yep. And so in addition to our produce, then we do a lot of farm to school turkey and beef, and that is obviously available year round as well. So regardless of the month, if you're in our schools, you can be certain that we're serving something locally, including our Minnesota Thursdays, which is the first Thursday of every month. We serve an entirely locally sourced meal.
Do you anticipate that $2 million is going to be enough to meet the demand for this?
Well, it's a first step, and so we're going to have to get started, see how it goes, and then from there it's a work in progress. We'll just keep looking at it and evaluating it and adjusting as we need to in that area. But we need to get some money in there right now so we can start getting these the care providers, schools, going in the program and that, so.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Nice job.
Working with you.
Yeah. Great job.